Hi everyone. Wow, YouTube really works fast. I got lots of emails. I got lots of emails from people asking if I was considered out of remission now because of this recent discoid flare. And I guess I didn't make myself clear yesterday. I was still in a little bit of a fog. Discoid lupus and systemic lupus are two separate lupuses. Now, some people do have discoid lupus and then it turns into systemic lupus over time because of not being diagnosed properly. It can affect the internal organs. For some reason, and this does happen in people, I know it's not common, but it does happen in people, you can have two separate situations. When I went into remission last May, I was in a systemic lupus flare. That means my internal organs were affected. For me, it's my lungs. Fluid fills up in my lungs. I can't breathe. I start wheezing. I start coughing. With discoid lupus, it's actually a reaction from the sun in some way or form. For me, it was sitting in the middle of the day in the hot Florida sun, unprotected. I had a shirt on, I was covered up, my skin was not exposed to the sun. There is another form of lupus called subacute, and I'm sorry, I don't know the whole thing. Subacute cutaneous. Sorry, I'll have to look that up. That when you're out in the sun, if you get exposed to the sun and develop a rash, that is a form of lupus. Discoid lupus also happens from the sun, but you can be protected. Like, I had a long sleeve shirt on. I was sitting in my car, but the area where the sun was on me, which was my left side, is where the rashes develop. It is not the same as systemic. And I got a lot of emails from people with systemic lupus who were very upset that I wasn't saying that I was no longer in remission. Discoid lupus is, I know this is hard for some people with systemic to understand, it's not as difficult to reverse. A lot of times when it doesn't affect your systemic self, or it doesn't affect your internal organs, it can reverse itself on its own, which it did for me for many years, which is why, I never really had an issue, earlier in my life. But I don't want people to think that, I didn't do anything, to protect myself, or I didn't go see a doctor, or I didn't, do what I needed to do. I did. I called my doctor. I described to her what had happened, and did she think I needed medication? No. Most people with discoid lupus don't take meds like people with systemic lupus do. So I think on my radio show, over the next few weeks, maybe I'll discern that, and maybe also on my written blog, I'll do a couple of things on different types of lupus so people can better understand what those are. And another question I got a lot about was what I do for a living. I don't think I clarified it clearly. My first and foremost profession is that of a psychic medium. My, quote, second profession is medical intuitive, where I help people understand what's going on inside their body, and what they do with that information is up to them. And then I'm a wellness coach. And what I do is, some people come to me just for a medical intuitive evaluation, and they take that and they do what they will with it. Some people want to take it one step further. Those people that want to take it one step further are usually at the end of the rope. The drugs aren't doing it for them. Whatever they're doing, either alternative or medically, it isn't helping them. And what I try to do is help them find that happy medium through the medical intuitive scan, and then through what I've learned to help myself. I don't claim to heal anyone. Let me rephrase that. I don't claim to cure anyone. I claim to be able to give you the tools that I used to help me heal so that you can try to heal yourself. And I hope that clears up everything. I know a lot of people are happy with what I do. I know that putting my neck out here and, being on a video blog, being on a radio show gets a lot of the negative, which is totally fine. I must have gotten 15 emails this week about people who, didn't believe me and what I was doing. And that's okay. You don't have to. It's not for you. And, that's the freedom of choice. You can change the channel. You can click on another website. You can turn me off. It's those people that want my help. It's those people that want a little more than what they're getting. And, even if it's just answering one question, I don't charge for all of my services. I do charge if you want a wellness program, if you want all of that. I do charge for a reading. A lot of people call for a 30-minute medical intuitive reading and get all their health questions answered. And then it's up to them to do with that as they will. There's got to be choices out there for everybody. There isn't just one way. And I tell people, if you need a medical doctor, I will tell you to go to a medical doctor. And I have told many people to, because they get in this state where they think they can do it, but you're in such a mental fog, you don't see that you need the help of conventional medicine. Is that the only answer? No. I'm a firm believer that we are all responsible for our own selves. And if your conscious choice is to go one way, then that's how you're helping yourself. I just believe that there are many avenues in life and that we should all be afforded those opportunities. So I hope that cleared up any questions. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.